Welcome to the WP-Tonic This Week in WordPress and SaaS podcast, where Jonathan Denwood interviews the leading experts in WordPress, e-learning, and online marketing to help WordPress professionals launch their own SaaS.
Welcome back, folks. It's another WP-Tonic show. We've got a great guest. We've got Sultan from WPFunnels. We're going to be discussing everything about funnels, about email marketing, about landing pages. It should be a great conversation. I'm going to do my countdown and we're going to go straight into the podcast part of the show. So 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, folks, to the WP-Tonic This Week in WordPress and SaaS. Got its show 899. Oh my God, getting close to the 900. Oh dear. We've got a great show today, folks. We've got Sultan from WPFunnels. It's a leading plugin in the email marketing automation space. It's a great product. We offer it as part of the WP-Tonic package. Should be a great show. So, Sultan, can you give us a quick 10, 20-second intro about yourself and WPFunnels?
Okay. Hey, everyone. Nice being here. Thanks for having me. I'm Sultan. I'm the marketing manager at WPFunnels. And WPFunnels is basically a sales funnel builder in WordPress, which is basically the first tool with a visual funnel canvas where you can plan funnels visually. At the same time, we have our own tool called Mail Mint, with which you can do email marketing automation. So we have these two tools under the same umbrella, and we are helping out businesses to scale up their marketing campaigns and boost their revenue using these two tools.
That's great. And I've got my great co-host, Kurt. Kurt, would you like to introduce yourself to the new listeners and viewers?
Absolutely, Jonathan. My name is Kurt Von Auden. I own an agency called Mañana No Mas, and I work directly with WP-Tonic and Lifter LMS with learning and membership websites.
Right. Should be a great show. We're going to go into the key parts of these products. Plus, we're going to ask Sultan what have been some of the business hurdles that WPFunnels has faced and how they've attempted to get over them. It should be a great show with some great insights. But before we go into the meat and potatoes, I've got a couple major messages from our sponsors. We will be back in a few moments, folks.
Tired of hosting providers that can't handle high traffic loads? Conversio is here to help. Our platform can handle any amount of traffic, all without slowdown or crashing. With immediate Slack support, performance optimization, and a team that thrives on resolving technical challenges, your e-commerce business is in safe hands. Learn more about Conversio at conversio.com.
Are you looking for ways to make your content more engaging? Sensei LMS by Automatic is the original WordPress solution for creating and selling online courses. Sensei's new interactive blocks can be added to any WordPress page or post. For example, interactive videos let you pause videos and display quizzes, lead generation forms, surveys, and more. For a 20% off discount for the tribe, just use the code WP-Tonic, all one word, when checking out and give Sensei a try today.
We're coming back, folks. I just want to point out we've got a curated list of the best WordPress plugins and also services for the WordPress professional, plus some great deals from our major sponsors. If you want to find all this and get these goodies, all you have to do is go over to wp-tonic.com/deals, wp-tonic.com/deals, and you find all the goodies there. What more could you ask for? Probably a lot more, but that's all you're going to get on that page. But it's well worth visiting, and use the links, and that supports the show, and it also supports the sponsors. So let's go straight into it. So what are some of the, I think you'd already mentioned it, is that, in WPFunnels, you've got the two, you've got the marketing automation plugin, and you also got the email. Maybe you can, are there any other products, and what's the history of the company? When did it start, and why was it started?
Okay, so basically, currently we have two tools under the same umbrella, WPFunnels and Mail Mint. So these two combined create a sales funnel journey plus email automation to create a complete sales process. So how it started was, back in 2020, our company's founder, Lincoln Islam, he was trying to, optimize our sales process. So we all worked together to, improve everything. So he was trying to find better ways on how to increase sales. So he found out these tactics of using sales funnels, and he tried to find solutions in WordPress. However, in WordPress, there are some tools which are there, but it's a bit complicated to use. At the same time, the SaaS tools that are available are quite expensive. So when we look into that picture, we came up with the thing that, okay, we're not the only one facing this. I'm sure many other companies are facing a similar situation. So that's when he came on to us. He went to our developers and said, hey, I have a challenge for you guys. I know you've been doing great work, but I have a challenge. Why don't you try to find a solution to this type of product? So at that time, our UX designers, our developers, they started researching. Our marketing team started researching, and we came up with a solution, which is a sales funnel builder with a visualized output. So the specialty of WPFunnels is you can visualize your funnel journey, and you can easily edit it within WordPress using your own page builders and everything. So we looked into the other tools, what complications they have, because a big problem with marketing is that the more time you lose, the more money you lose. So the other tools require you at least like 30 to 40 minutes to create a single page, a single strategy. So what we aspired to do is maybe we could reduce the number of clicks, reduce the number of time required to create the whole marketing thing, whole marketing strategy. So by the end of our whole challenge, we managed to create a tool with which you can create a sales funnel in as low as 15 minutes. So that was where we managed to, get the output. And so basically, when we first launched, it was back in 2021. We launched in our own website, and then we had a little run in App Store. And then, from there down the line, we are here. We have launched Mail Mint just last year, which is for email marketing. So when you run a sales funnel journey, you need email automation there, because email marketing is definitely the best which is a marketing tactic you can use. So you must have that. So these two work together quite well, and that's where we are today. So if you ask about email automation, Mail Mint is something that will excel, because you might think that, hey, this is for WPFunnels, but no, this is the product in itself, which is pretty good with these email marketing features. It's better than most of the tools out there because, again, we have researched our other tools. We have seen how difficult they are, and we have made sure that those difficulties are not in this tool. So that's the motto. We want to make sure that our tools are easy to use. It saves marketers time so that you guys can, use it to scale up your business and then focus on more important things while automating the main sales process.
Oh, that's great. So you said your team and you started it 3 years ago, but what was the background of the company before WPFunnels? Were you doing a lot of WordPress work? Was it an agency, or was you building other plugins or technologies on other platforms?
Well, initially our company is basically called CodeRex, which is a WordPress development agency. But after that, we had our own plugin development flagship called Rex Theme, where if you have heard of it, like WPVR, that's our tool. Product Feed Manager, that's our tool. So those are our own tools that we have been running for a while with that, like over 7 years before we went into WPFunnels. So WPFunnels is basically something that we created a long time later. Our main team initially started as an agency. We used to provide services. We provided service to over 500 clients already, very large clients with CodeRex. And then our other two tools, like WPVR is right now the number one VR tool in WordPress. And we used our expertise to, bring it into WPFunnels, Mail Mint, because these are more mainstream tools. So all of our tools have the same purpose, increasing business output. So WPVR helps with realtors. Realtors increase their sales. Product Feed Manager helps any e-commerce business increase their sales. Then we came on to WPFunnels and Mail Mint. These two are there to increase sales for any type of business. So that's where we are today.
Oh, that's great. Sounds like you've got a great history with WordPress. I'm going to throw it over now to Kurt.
Hey, I get the question I think I identify with it because I struggle with this myself sometimes. It's, what is a practical checkout page experience? Like, what are the main things that people need to know about creating a practical checkout page experience? I think we see things in platforms we download, we start to use, and we take it for granted. But there are other elements to checkout that I don't think a lot of us really address.
Definitely. Well, just here's the thing. When you set up a business, all right, one of the crucial parts is the checkout, because when a person is at the checkout page, he's there to pay. I mean, the person has literally thought about paying. That's why he's in the checkout page, right? And at this point, what you need to focus on is closing the deal rather than focusing on, increasing sales or, anything additional. Your main focus should be how soon the customer can complete the payment process. So the first thing you need to focus on is it cannot be cluttered. There cannot be too much colors. There cannot be too much elements in the checkout page. It should be solely focused on checkout. The second thing is do not use any sort of distractions like ads or AdSense. Many people do that. I don't know why. I mean, a person is ready to pay. Why would you distract him with something else? There's no meaning to that. Okay. And also a third thing is sometimes for, let's say, high ticket businesses, businesses that sells products with thousands of dollars. At that time, it's better to simplify the process, maybe with a multi-step checkout. So initially, you just pick up their basic information and then separate it a second form for collecting their payment information so that it's easier for customers to focus on. So the main goal here at the checkout is to not distract the customer. That's what everybody misses. Most people that fail with the checkout is they create some sort of distraction. And the more you can reduce the distraction, the better. The easier it is for the customer, the sooner they get to take a decision. You want to make upsells, don't do it at the checkout. Do it after the checkout, maybe with a post-purchase offer or maybe with an email. But don't do it on the checkout page. On the checkout page, the highest you can do is add a relevant product which they have to use together maybe. Or else don't. I mean, if someone is buying a phone, yes, you can offer a headphone there as a small order bump. They can add it. That's fine. But if someone is buying a phone and you're offering him a higher model of phone on the checkout page, that's a distraction. Now he'll think that, okay, let's check that out. And once he starts checking that out, he might think, okay, I need time to think. Then he doesn't check out at that time. And he end up not completing the process. So that's the idea here.
Nice. So if I understand the answer correctly, if I'm selling something that's $10, $25, $40, having everything on one page, checkout, simple, boom. If I'm selling something that's $1,500, I probably just want to collect name, address, blah, 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 then go to the next page and do credit card information.
Exactly. Right.
Okay.
I mean, that's what works most. I mean, I've worked with a few clients in the past. I've talked with many people, and that's what everybody have used, because when it's a large payment procedure, okay, people need to think a lot because it's a lot of investment. So the least you make them think while they're filling forms out, the better. So you separate it out so that it feels like it's a simple checkout process. They go through it smoothly.
And I don't mean to drive down too hard on this, and I usually don't take this much time, but when you mentioned the post-purchase upsell, you had mentioned either like refer them or redirect them to a post-purchase offer or an email. Now, in your experience, if it's a high-ticket item, let's say it's a $5,000 training thing or whatever, what do you think has the better conversion? The redirect with the immediate offer on a page, or an email that's sent like an hour later?
Well, it doesn't have to be one or the other. You can use both. Basically, when you have a $5,000 product, you don't really sell it directly. You first have to gain trust from the customer. So what usually such businesses do is they use a tripwire funnel. The concept is initially you sell them something very cheap to get a taste of your product, okay, or maybe offer them a trial to understand your product. And then, you nurture them with emails, okay. So after you nurture them into emails, you then take them to your main product offer. So you are still making a post-purchase offer. You're still making them sign up for something now, all right? But that's because you want them to first understand that you are, the real thing. So once they try out your product initially, let's say they paid $7 to, get access to your tool for, let's say, 2 months, okay? So once they use it with their business, they know that, okay, this is something that's really good. So at that time, during those 2 months, you're sending him emails with more information of how to make it more useful for the business to nurture them. Okay. So that's email automation. So you're sending them a series over the next 2 months. At the end of the 2 months, you send them an email with a link to the offer, the post-purchase offer. But hey, I know you've been using it for 2 months and I really don't like to brag, but I know this is going to make some money for your business. So here is something. I have a special offer you won't that you cannot refuse. Take a look. So he's going to click, it's going to open, and the offer is going to show, hey, I have a huge discount for you, a 60% off just for you because you have gone through this process. And I don't want you to feel like you're missing out on this. And I want you to use it for a long time. I want your business to scale. So use this tool, just 60% off. It's yours and you start making millions. So something like that. So that's how the offer pages work. So you need to use a nurturing email series and then make an offer. But this usually is case for high ticket products. If it's a cheaper product, then it's more effective if you make an immediate offer. So when someone is at the checkout, it's let's say a $50 product. Immediately you take him to an upsell offer where you say add a relevant product or a complementary product or maybe a higher number of products. So let's say someone is buying a t-shirt. Okay. So immediately redirect him to an upsell offer that, okay, buy 3 t-shirts and you get an extra $50 off. So these things work really well when the products are more affordable, like the amount people can spend at a time. So $5,000 is not something you can spend every day, but $50 is something you can spend, with a significant decision. So that's how it works.
Excellent. Thanks for driving down on that for me. Jonathan?
Yeah, sure. So with WP-Funnel and Mail Mint, you decided to have 2 separate products. Mm-hmm. What was the logic behind that? I think you hinted at that earlier, that Mail Mint is a really totally separate product which can be utilized without WP-Funnel. But there must have been a bit of a discussion, I would imagine, about having 2 separate or combining them in one. So maybe you can give some insight about how that discussion went and why in the end you decided to have the 2 separate products.
Well, there's a lot of reasons. Initially, when we thought of creating email automation, we wanted to make it for WPFunnels only, okay? Because that's what the community was demanding. That's necessary for any funnel journey, right? But as we went into planning and development, researching, we found out that email marketing is actually a huge market in itself, right? So there are businesses that can run with just email marketing, even without any sales funnels or without any, landing pages. They can make money just by emails. It's totally possible. So once we see that sort of industry and we see that, okay, we have a user base that's using funnels, but email marketing has a lot more use in WordPress. So when we see it that way, it's more logical that, okay, we can invest a separate team for an email marketing tool. We can invest a separate team in a funnel building tool and then make both of them compatible. So each of them can use each other, or people who doesn't need the other one, they can use a separate tool. It's totally up to them. All right. The second reason behind this is when we looked into WordPress, right? So if we want to create email marketing into WPFunnels, the plugin would get quite heavy. All right. So we don't want to make the plugin too large, the plugin files too large, and input too many features into one tool that makes it quite heavy for WordPress. It's not a SaaS tool. It's not our own server. So it's a lot of weight there. So we decided, okay, if some people want both of them together, they just can use 2 tools. Or else one person might just say, hey, I have my own email marketing tool. I don't need Mail Mint. So I'll just use WPFunnels and I'll be using my other email marketing tool. So that's the whole scenario behind this. And at the same time, the third logic is a business decision. Basically, when you create an email marketing tool, you invest a lot of time. You need a complete team to develop that. So basically, it would be more feasible for us rather than increasing the price of WPFunnels, make it a separate product and charge for that. Because if we were to invest in adding email marketing within WPFunnels, that means the price of the product had to go up. And because we had to make up for the investment we were making, right? So that would make it difficult for many people to afford either one of them. So rather, we kept the prices affordable on a separate level. Those who need both, they'll pay for both of them. Those who doesn't need both, they'll just pay for one of them, which they need. So those are the three reasons we decided that these two should stay separately.
Yeah, I think one of the great strengths of Wpfunnels with Mail Mint is the way I place it. Is that it's because it is also I don't know if you would agree with this or disagree. It also is a CRM to some extent as well. But what is a CRM? That it's such a broad a CRM can be such a broad animal that it's almost lost its meaning. I don't know if you would agree with that, Sultan. But what I like about the combination is, we offer it ourselves, but, we also offer Fluent CRM and cart flows. But your product, it seems to cover the whole journey, from building a landing page, because you provide a small library of templates, don't you? Landing pages. It provides the marketing automation in this visual builder, which I really like. And then you got with Mail Mint, you got the email. So you seem to have integration, which most of the other products in the WordPress space don't seem to have. Would you agree with that synopsis I've outlined?
Yeah, well, it's totally, as you said, basically, when you look at Wpfunnels and Mail Mint, you get the feeling that you're using a SaaS tool, because most of the SaaS tools provide all of this into one package, right? But you don't get it with the tools that are in WordPress right now. So that's one advantage we have. And in regards to CRM, you can say to some extent it's a CRM for people who use CRM to, store customer data. But, a CRM is much broader. There is things like, inbound customers, then customer satisfaction. What's with customer support control?
Yeah.
Things like that. Yeah.
The reason I'm interrupting is I think you made a great point, because that's what I was hinting at when I put the original question to you, is that there's a kind of sales-oriented CRMs like Salesforce or some other like, I don't know. But then you got something, I wouldn't call something in the SaaS area like Active Campaign a true sales-orientated. It's more email and marketing automation. But I know loads of people. I classify sales more like HubSpot or Salesforce, but there's loads of people that utilize Active Campaign as their only CRM. But that's more in the SaaS world. I see that as one of your main competitors. You seem to offer a lot at a much more affordable price than something like Active Campaign, because they've also increased their prices quite a lot recently, haven't they? What do you think about that? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I thought that was a useful point to make.
No, it's totally fine. Well, to be honest, we are not going for a competition with SaaS tools, even though a lot of features are similar. What we would say is that if you're using WordPress, then yes, we are a competition to that, because if you're using WordPress, it's more sensible to use a tool that's already in the platform. Why would you go outside, right? So use Mail Mint at that time. We have everything they are providing. So why use an external tool that costs more, is more difficult to use? Just come to us, right? So it's not just about Active Campaign. If you're using any email automation tool, just try Mail Mint out if you're into WordPress, right? If you're outside of WordPress, sure, you might have different scenarios that you want to use it. Mail Mint doesn't work outside WordPress, so I don't have any reason to compete there, right? So if you are using WordPress, it's always more sensible that you use a plugin that works within the WordPress, environment. So you need a tool within that rather than, finding an external tool where you need to set it up, a lot of complications. It doesn't work all the time as well. So you don't get a lot of automations there that you might be getting with Mail Mint. So that's the advantages we provide. So we definitely checked out a lot of tools before creating Mail Mint so that it gets super easy. We want to make sure that it aligns with WordPress, but also is easy for people who use email outside of WordPress. So you can think about this way that, there are very few tools in WordPress that provides email marketing. Very few. Okay. Most of them are SaaS tools. So we have to make sure that our users can use this tool. So we have to make it somewhat easier than the SaaS tools. At the same time, we need to make sure that it's definitely better than the ones that are within WordPress. So that's what we aimed for. So in our case, we have mainly wanted it for the funnel people, the people who use WPFunnels. But then when we came into the market and we now want to serve everybody, now we have to provide the features that, SaaS tools are providing. So we have a lot of features that you would normally get with the SaaS tools, but not in WordPress, but you will get that in Mail Mint. So that's how things are working. For example, if I give you an example, we have AI integration to generate subject lines and the email copy. So basically you can connect it with ChatGPT account and then provide instructions within Mail Mint to generate those subject lines and the email copy. So those are some things that you usually get with SaaS tools, not in WordPress, but we brought it in because, that's something people would find useful. So that's just the idea.
That's fantastic. Before we go for a break, I've got another quick follow-through question because I think the main purpose of this, I wanted you to come on the show because you've been very generous. We partner with WPFunnel. It's our second main partner. We only have 2 partners that we really work with in the marketing automation, and WPFunnel is one of them. Because we have a lot of professionals listen to this podcast, WordPress professionals, implementers, developers, so on. So what is its integration with Woo and also something like WP Fusion? First of all, what is its integration with Woo? Is it very good?
Yeah, well, WPFunnels is built for WooCommerce. Basically, if you create sales funnels, it works with WooCommerce just as smoothly. At the same time, Mail Mint has automations for WooCommerce, and pretty soon we're going to be releasing the feature of editing the transactional emails as well. So right now, you cannot edit the transactional emails. You can just run email campaigns, automations based on user actions in your WooCommerce store. So for example, if someone places an order, you can set up an automation workflow for that. If someone registers to your store, you can set up an automation for that. So those things are there. And basically next month, we'll be working on, editing the transactional emails as well. So our email builder is basically unique. It's a drag and drop email builder, which you don't usually get in WordPress. So that's something that makes it super easy to design the emails. So we'll be allowing you to design your transactional emails with that. So at that time, it will be like completely integrated with WooCommerce. So that's the only thing missing. I'm just saying we have abundant cart recovery. We have email campaigns. We have email series. We have email automation workflows. That's the only missing Lego to make it a complete solution for WooCommerce, right? And if you talk about WPFunnels, it has a direct conditional integration. Basically, you can set up conditional funnels. For example, you can define that, okay, if someone purchases this specific product, then he'll be taken to a custom funnel, a custom checkout page where he'll be made personalized offers just for that customer. Okay. So for different products, you can have different types of funnels. You can even make conditional dynamic upsell offers. So you can set it up like this, that, okay, if someone buys a t-shirt in upsell, offer him 3 t-shirts. If someone buys a pen in the upsell, offers 3 pen or 4 pen. You can create dynamic offers like that for WooCommerce. So that's a direct integration of WPFunnels with WooCommerce where you can set up conditional funnels. In fact, you can actually replace the traditional WooCommerce checkout with WPFunnels and have your own custom checkout page.
Oh, and what is its integration with WP Fusion?
We currently don't have any integration with WP Fusion. It's part of our roadmap later this year.
Oh, yeah, you must do that because a lot of people utilize that. It should be on top of your list if you want my advice. Maybe you don't. No, it's a great product and a lot of people combine it with the tagging power that WP Fusion offers. So hopefully you'll do that. Seems like you're on it. We're going to go for our break now, folks. It's been a great discussion. We've got some other great questions. I think it's something definitely you want to look at, WPFunnels. We will be back in a few moments, folks.
This podcast episode is brought to you by Lifter LMS, the leading learning management system solution for WordPress. If you or your client are creating any kind of online course, training-based membership website, or any type of e-learning project, Lifter LMS is the most secure, stable, well-supported solution on the market. Go to lifterlms.com and save 20% at checkout with coupon code podcast20. That's podcast20. Enjoy the rest of your show.
We're coming back, folks. We've had a feast of marketing automation, email questions, landing page, and I think we've done a good job in highlighting the power of WPFunnels and why if you're a developer, why you should be looking at it. But before we go on in this great interview, I just want to point out that if you are building a course, a membership website for a client or a community website on BuddyBoss, why don't you look at becoming a partner with WP-Tonic? We offer fantastic hosting and much, much more aimed at you, the WordPress developer or individual professional that's building this type of website. And we offer a fantastic package. To find out more, all you have to do is go over to wp-tonic.com/partners, wp-tonic.com/partners, and see what we're offering and book a chat with me. And we can go through how we could work together. So let's go. I'm going to throw it over to Kurt. Back over to you, Kurt.
Excellent. Well, you've given us some great insight as to like the power of your tools and what they do. And now I'm kind of curious, like what do you think are some of people's, biggest mistakes connected to using these marketing automation tools?
Well, I think the biggest mistakes that I have seen people do is, they plan as they go. Like in any marketing strategy, planning comes first, and you need to invest a lot of time into planning and research. And when you are creating marketing automation, if your flow is not properly organized, properly planned, then you're giving the wrong message to the wrong people, and it doesn't work. So, for example, if I talk about like a few minutes ago, I said you could add a conditional funnel for people, right? Now, if someone is buying a t-shirt, okay, and if you're offering him, let's say, a pair of earphones, let's say. Now, how is that relevant? That's not relevant, right? Like someone wouldn't think about headphones when they're buying a t-shirt. So when you're planning these funnel journeys, you should think about, okay, what products am I offering? Okay, what pages I should be including? How many landing pages or how many emails should I use? Like some funnels usually have 2 or 3 landing pages as well. It depends on what type of funnel you're using, right? So you can decide, okay, do I need 2 landing pages? Do I need 1 landing page? Okay, if I have the checkout, what checkout should I be using? Should I use a multi-step checkout? Then should I make upsell offer? If so, how many upsell offers should I make? Okay, if I'm going to use email automation, how long is going to be my email series? Okay, and the way to plan that is you need to also decide on the journey you want your customer to go through. So initially, you take them to a landing page. You decide, okay, what do I want my customer to think when they're in this landing page? You write a copy for that. So once they're happy with it, they go through to the checkout. Let's say your main aim was to, get them to sign up for a free trial. So that should be your main focus on the landing page, showing the benefits, the use cases, and then focus on the free trial. So once they sign up, they should be going to a checkout page where, they just get a free trial. It's not a checkout page. They're just, signing up for the free trial. And then you decide, okay, now they're on the trial. I want them to take a journey from, learning about my product to implementing it and then finding out what's more. So I will plan maybe a 3 to 4 email series where initially I'll give them a good welcome, warm welcome. Hey, welcome to this. This is the tutorials if you need help. Then 2 days later, I'll send them a tactics. Okay, this is a great tactic that I think you can implement. Check it out. And then maybe 2 days later, I send you an email. Hey, this is a use case one of our great customers created. Check it out. They have just created this and they've got this much success. Then 4 days later, I send him another one saying that, hey, I think you've used it for 4 or 5 days. What's your take on this? What questions do you have? I asked them a few FAQs. So things like that. So this whole planning should be done before you start creating your funnel journey. Okay. Don't just plan as you go. Don't just sit down and say, hey, first let me create the landing page. Then I'll think about the checkout. No, plan it first. The planning should come first. If you have it all planned out, then you use any tools, it's going to work. It's not about using WPFunnels, Mail Mint. When you're a marketer, you should be first planning it. Once you have the plan ready, obviously the plan has to be, based on your research. You need to have proper customer research. You need to have proper data, data-driven decisions. So after that, you make a plan and then you dive into the sales funnel, okay? Creating your funnel. Don't create it as you go. It never works. You always make a mistake here and there. And especially if you're selling high ticket, one single wrong word can change the whole context of the funnel journey and people will leave. Don't do that. I mean, you brought the customer. It's a very difficult thing to do. You're either running paid ads or you're, doing marketing some sort, bring in the traffic. But just because of not planning properly, you're losing them. Don't do that. So that's the biggest mistake people make with marketing strategies. But I would also like to add one more thing that people do is this is something they do before planning, right? But the other thing people make mistake is after setting up the funnel, they don't track the performance. You have to track the performance. You need to check out the analytics. You need to see where things are not working out so that you can improve it. Because no funnel is perfect on the first go. No marketing activity is perfect on the first go. You run something, check it out after 1 week. How is it performing? If any area you see is dropping off too much, improve that. Run A/B testing. Make it better. But do analyze your analytics. Do find out what's performing, what is not. So these are the two things that people don't want to do. The first one, they make a mistake because they think they can plan as they go. The second one, they're just ignorant because they feel lazy to track that. Because analytics is a lot of data. It takes a lot of work. And most people don't want to do that. They're like, oh, I think it's going to work out. But no, it doesn't work that way. You have to track that.
Yeah, that came up for Jonathan and I on a couple of recent episodes where we actually discussed you have to know what your offer even is and who your target is. And that's all part of that planning, right? Like if you're selling the wrong thing to the wrong people, you ain't going nowhere anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
The other thing was you mentioned the word mistake like 3 or 4 times in your answer. And so I think one of the biggest mistakes people make is they don't audit or they don't actually test their funnel as if they were a test client. Like I'm amazed at how many funnels I get sucked into that don't even work. The link is dead or it doesn't go to the product or whatever.
Yeah.
What percentage of people do you think launch a funnel and don't even check to see if it works right?
Well, I think that's over 60% because most people are like new into this because most of us are like, if you talk about me, I've been in this industry for a while, but most people that are running funnels nowadays with all the AI coming in, they don't have any experience into marketing. So they just take a course, see that and, just create the funnel, launch it, and they're waiting for results. It doesn't work out. They come out and complain that the course is not good. It's not working. But you have to track back. Nobody does that. So a lot of people don't do that because of the experience. You can see that due to the availability of courses and, AI, most people are also refraining from going to agencies to run their funnels. But if you look at big companies, the companies that are actually earning millions, they always prefer agencies. Why is that? Because they know that experts are good at this. Experts will track back, experts will improve and get results. But the people who are doing it individually, they don't find it that fascinating. They feel like, okay, checking the analytics is a boring thing. I've got this course is going to get me success. And they just leave it like that. And it doesn't work. So that's what's happening nowadays. If I talk about 5 or 10 years back, it wasn't the case. The percentage should be a lot low. But if I talk about now, it's a lot because most people are doing that thanks to AI and courses. Come on.
Yeah, I could see that. Jonathan, I'll toss it back to you.
Yeah, just a quick follow-through question before going on to the next one. Is also, I think, the other fantastic thing about WP Funnels and Mail Mint is that you provide some really great analytical screens and you make it reasonably easy to monitor and observe what's going on in the campaigns. I think it's one of the strongest. You have spent quite a bit of time, looks to me, building that out. Am I correct?
Yeah, it took us a lot of hard work. Initially, it wasn't that efficient. But then basically when we first launched, it wasn't too efficient. It was just the bare bones. But then we invested some time checking out other tools, checking out what's necessary for marketing, and optimized it. Basically, we had to find out what metrics are the most important in each campaign, and we included those. We decided that, okay, we do not need to distract people with things that they don't need, and also inaccurate data. So that's what we focused on. And if you look at Wpfunnels now, you can have separate analytics for each page in your funnel. So you can actually find out what each and every page is working on that. You can find out how much revenue you're earning from each upsell offer. So that's how we optimize it, because I think that's what marketers need to make decisions that, hey, if this upsell offer is working more, then this is the format I should be using in the future. If this is not working, then this upsell offer is probably wrong. I need to work on that. So you can find those analytics on each page. And at the same time, if you look at Mail Mint, we have separate analytics for each email campaigns where you can get more details. Plus, recently we are working on the campaign 360, which means you'll get insights on the whole campaign, like what each and every customer is doing. So those are coming up like maybe early next month or something like that. So we are on the process. So we know that analytics is one of the most important parts of email marketing, because email marketing is always about testing and getting better. It's one of those areas in marketing where you have to test. There is no chance of ignoring that. So you always optimize, you always check out the data, you always improve. So we are working on this analytics so that marketers can find this tool one of their best friends.
And what obviously at WP-Tonic we provide really fantastic hosting. We specialize in the support of Lifter, LMS, LearnDash, and BuddyBoss. E-learning and community. Does Wpfunnel work quite well with Lifter and LearnDash and BuddyBoss?
Right now, I think it works with Tutor LMS and LearnDash. We haven't worked on an integration with Lifter yet. That's probably going to be worked on later on. We haven't decided a time frame for that. It's in our list. But directly right now, it works with Tutor LMS for WooCommerce, because Tutor LMS is a WooCommerce plugin. So it works naturally. At the same time, we have created a separate add-on for LearnDash. So you can actually create a unique funnel for LearnDash, which I think doesn't exist in WordPress before our own plugin. So I think that's something many people can check out. The LMS add-on. With that, you can create a funnel journey without WooCommerce with LearnDash.
Well, I think I'll strongly advise you to look at Lifter LMS, because they're doing some fantastic work there. And also with WP Fusion, because I think they're two fantastic teams. And I think
Fusion is already in our plans for maybe the next quarter. But for the Lifter, we haven't planned yet, because we need to plan on how to integrate it with the funnel properly. We need to check out Lifter more deeply. We haven't done the full research yet on Lifter. So we did think about it when we were talking about LMSs, but LearnDash was the first one we went for, and we haven't yet integrated with any other yet. So hopefully, if when we get into that, we'll probably look into Lifter at that time.
That'd be fantastic. So let's move on, because you remarked a little bit about AI, and I utilize quite a few AI tools, and it's really made me much more productive and helped me personally. But also, I think for very understandable reasons, it's also been utilized almost in everything. It's to say it's a kind of throw. Obviously, I feel there's a lot more real power there than a couple of years ago. People were talking about Web3 and integrating blockchain, and to some extent, I just think that was waffle. And when anybody ever tried to explain to me how that would actually really work, they rapidly lose me. And I'm not the sharpest tool, but I'm not the bluntest tool in the toolbox. But I really think, AI, so I'm utilising a number of tools, but I also think it's being utilised too widely. I'm sure in Wpfunnel you're having a lot of discussions about how you're going to integrate AI in your core products over the next year, 18 months. What's your general view? Would you agree with what I've said myself? And what have been some of the discussions in the company about how effectively you can integrate AI so it really does offer some real value to your end users?
Well, in Wpfunnels, we haven't yet planned for AI because Elementor has done that for us, to be honest. Because you can, write the copies using Elementor AI. So that made it easy for us. We didn't have to do that. Initially we were thinking of it, but most of the users of WPFunnels are using Elementor.
That's funny. If you don't want me, what's your position around Gutenberg as well? If you don't want me to ask, because you mentioned
Yeah, it works with Gutenberg. It works with Elementor. It works with DV, and Bricks is coming up pretty soon. So our tool works with almost any builder. Just that these builders have their dedicated blocks or modules, or what you want to call it. So basically, in Gutenberg, we have our own blocks, and people can design. We also have templates for that. In Elementor, we have our own widgets. People can design the pages however they want. Just they need to use these widgets so that the funnel works functionally. So basically, these buttons, let's say in the landing page, there is something called the next step button. That's what people use as the action button, the CTA. So if someone clicks on that, then they proceed to the next step of the funnel. So similarly, the checkout form that you see, it's actually our widget. It's not really the shortcode. It's our widget. You can customize it completely. So those are basically the benefits you get when you use the compatible builders. But for other builders, let's say Zion, so you can use a shortcode for that. We have shortcodes. So it works with it works with any builder. So in case of AI, since we don't use our own page builder, we are letting people use their own page builders however they want. Or you can use our templates. We have created templates for you. So if you want to write copies in Elementor, they have AI integration. You can use ChatGPT. So that's pretty easy. But if you look at Mail Mint, we have already integrated AI, as I told you. In email marketing, you just need two areas of AI. One is, writing the subject line. Another is writing the content, the copy. So basically, I'm talking about generative AI here. So we have already integrated that. You can easily, give instructions on what subject line you want, and you'll get 10 subject line suggestions. It's a unique UI. You can look into our video in YouTube where we have demonstrated that how this works. It's not the same UI as other tools. We have our own unique UI where it's more easy to choose what subject lines you want to select. So you tell the tool that, okay, I want a subject line where I want to give this sort of message. And our tool will automatically give you 10 suggestions. So you have to choose which one you want, or you can say regenerate. It will generate 10 more. So that's how we integrated AI into Mail Mint for subject line. Same thing for writing the email. When you're building the email in the text area, you can always, activate AI and then give instructions on what to write, and AI will generate it for you. So we have already integrated AI into Mail Mint. Now, obviously, we also want to go further than that with AI. We have discussed a lot of things. For example, now, initially, we thought that maybe we create an AI instructive funnel generator. So if someone can say, hey, I want to create a funnel with this many steps, then AI will automatically bring out, okay, so these are the steps you might use. Whichever the customer chooses, that will be generated. So that's something we have discussed. But it's not something that's possible right now with a lot of complications involved. We have done some R&D in that. So even if we want to move to those sort of advanced AI things, it's going to take some time because we need to create a lot of things on our own that doesn't exist at all. So, it's time consuming. We need to invest time in that. So before we go there, we are polishing the tool as itself so that, even without AI, the tool is really good. We are giving all the necessary features, and then we're going to move into the advanced AI or if necessary, basically. Initially, most of our people don't need AI, as I said. Like for generative purposes, it's already there. If we want to make some other advanced innovations, that's going to be in the future.
Yeah, I totally understand because it's very, if I'm just trying to place myself in your shoes and the company's shoes, it's a very tricky thing, isn't it? Obviously, you don't want to be seen falling behind your competitors in the WordPress space or the SaaS space. But on the other hand, it could be a total waste of time and resources if you choose the wrong pathway. And I think it's very, very tricky at the present moment. So it's probably best just to concentrate on utilising it like you said, to kind of really polish what you already have or add, and then look at any kind of fundamental changes further on. Back over to you, Kurt.
Well, I guess I get to take it from AI to science fiction. If you had your own time machine, if you were a fan of Doctor Who and you had your own TARDIS, and you could go back to the beginning of your business journey, what advice would you give yourself?
Well, I think I would say create an AI tool because that's good. Because I mean, if you look at the last 2 years, everything is AI. I mean, there's nothing you see that's not AI. Even, I mean, as a joke, there's a tea stall in our area that's called AI. So you understand. So, everything is AI. So if it was like 5 years back, if I had the decision what tool I want to create, maybe create an AI tool, then I would be ahead of the competition back then. So, that's something I think I would advise myself.
Yeah, that's interesting. I really wonder how far it's all going to go. I mean, I think we all have the same daydreams, right? But it's like, how far is it going to go? And what would life have been like if you would have gotten in super, super early?
Yeah. Well, to be honest, if you ask me, after 5 years, I'm really concerned how many real marketers will be there because AI is dictating everything. So most people don't even understand marketing and they're doing marketing now. So I don't know how many of them will actually realize that when marketing works, there's going to be a lot of limitations. So to be honest, I'm expecting that the online businesses will have a lot of difficulty the more AI grows because people will more be bored with this sort of things because it's pretty apparent that this is not done by a human. Most of us can realize that. And I mean, if it's a good marketer, they change it. They make it sound like human. But nowadays, I can see a lot of websites, they're just using generative AI and releasing it out there. And pretty soon people are going to get used to that. They're going to know that, okay, this is AI. Now, I don't want to read this. Like if you think about it 5 years back, if you wanted to learn something, you go to Google, there's a blog. You had some sort of belief that, okay, this is written by an expert. But now, how many of them are actually written by experts? We don't know. It could be written by AI. So it's really difficult to trust. And most marketers will not be genuine marketers. They'll rather be AI marketers in 10 years' time. That's what I'm thinking it's going to happen. So, but generative AI is going to be something that's going to be used a lot, basically. It's being used already. So it's going to be used a lot over the next 10 years. And pretty soon, I think that's going to change. This is the fictional belief of mine that I think AI will be more towards visual AI in the future than generative AI. People will focus on creating complete live ads, live demonstrations with AI, than focusing on generative anymore because the written things are losing their trust and credibility. So I think that's where things will move in the future.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of insight what you just said, but I think we utilize AI on the blogs, but I do edit them, and we tend to add video or the podcast or audio to show that it has had human input and it has value. But I totally agree with you that a lot of people are in a way abusing, but it's for understandable reasons. But I think you would be advised to kind of mix it with elements that show that it's had some human input into it. So I think it's been a fabulous discussion. I think the other thing is, especially for the WordPress professionals that listen to this particular podcast, is do you have a very active Facebook group? Is there a way for people to join your Facebook group and find out more about WPFunnel and Mail Mint?
Yes, we have our own Facebook community. It's called the WPfunnels, the sales funnel community for WordPress. If you go to facebook.com/groups/WPfunnels, that's our group. Anyone can go ahead and join. You will get all the updates about our tools. Plus, you can discuss about funnels there. So we have our own community.
And like I say, I highly recommend it, Tribe. Like I say, it's our, we have two solution that we offer our hosting clients, or when we're building websites out, and we found it fabulous. So we highly recommend WPFunnel if you're looking at, especially with combining it with Mail Mint. You have a system where you got the automation, the landing page, and the email all combined in one system for your clients. So go and have a look at it. So what's the best way to find out more about your own thoughts and that? Are you on Twitter or Facebook yourself, Sultan? Because obviously you've shown that you're expert on marketing, so I'm sure that people will want to follow you. So what's the best way to follow you personally?
Well, you can follow me on LinkedIn, on Twitter. So in Twitter, it's X at Sultan Royal 1. That's my ID. I'll share it with you. You can, share it.
Just put it, email it to me, and I'll make sure it's all in the show notes. Twitter is the best way. What about Facebook? Are you on Facebook at all?
Yeah, I'm also on Facebook, but professionally, I'm more into LinkedIn and Twitter. But I'm okay. I'm okay with it if people want to reach me on Facebook. It's the same name. They'll find me.
All these different platforms, it all gets confusing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what's the best way for people to find out more about WPFunnel, apart from the Facebook? Do you think the Facebook group is the best way for a WordPress professional? Or are there some other resources like the WP-Tonic YouTube channel? Is that quite active? Do you think promoting the YouTube channel for WPFunnels would be a good idea? What's the best way for them to find out more information, basically?
Well, they can, visit our website initially, which is www.getwpfunnels.com, or they can join the group, or they can visit our YouTube channel, which is in the same name, WPFunnels. We have all of this active. I mean, we regularly post videos. We regularly share content. You can also, subscribe to our blogs in our website so that you can regularly get updates on our new articles, new updates. So all of those are active. We have a whole team working on this. So we have a separate support team to help you out. If anybody needs help knowing more about the tool, you can reach out to us, for a contact form. We in our chat service, we will, reply back to you. And we also have a free version in WordPress just to check out the basic features of the tool, which you can try out for free. So all those are ways you can get to WPFunnels and Mail Mint.
That's fantastic. And Kurt, what's the best way for people to find out more about you and what you're up to, Kurt?
Well, similar to our esteemed guest, you will find me on LinkedIn. I'm the only Kurt Barman on LinkedIn, so I'm easy to connect with there. And then anything Manana No Mas online typically leads to my agency. And I'd love to have a chat with you about business and helping you out.
That's fantastic. And if you want to support the podcast and WP-Tonic, go over to the WP-Tonic YouTube channel and subscribe there. You see all the interviews plus a load of other resources about learning management systems, building community websites. It's a fantastic resource. So if you can go over there and subscribe, that would be much appreciated. We will be back next week with another great interview. We'll see you soon, folks. Bye.
Hey, thanks for listening. We really do appreciate it. Why not visit the Mastermind Facebook group? And also to keep up with the latest news, click wp-tonic.com/newsletter. We'll see you next time.